Yo, what it is. I am your boy who is Ski Right. Welcome back for another episode of the iN-Word podcast. Gentlemen, amid all the coronavirus fears, how are you feeling?
I'm good, man. It's your boy, Master OG Ty on Instagram, Twitter, Big Measy on Facebook. Just had to put that out there. You know, everybody's scared right now, and I'm quarantining right now. All I'm doing is smoking pack and quarantining. So I'm gonna pass it over to my man Doc.
Hey everybody, I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Been moving back into the city, but I'm back and I'm semi quarantining. I still go outside and that type of thing. But there's no fear involved though. If anybody know me, like I wouldn't dare fear getting sick at this point. But and I hope y'all don't either. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what y'all can do to increase your immune system, man. You know, help heal yourself. Dr. Ross everywhere.
Yes, sir. George, how you feeling out of Cali? I know y'all are locked down like shit.
Well, they are, but I'm military, so
Damn.
I be doing whatever. But ain't nobody tripping. I don't think any black people are really tripping.
Like,
Niggas
Cause it's
having
like,
cookouts and shit.
yeah, cause it's like this is like our day to day. Oh, y'all, like it's nothing new to us feelings wise. So have to worry about this. So we good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really afraid of it. I probably should be. I mean, because it is fatal to a degree. I mean, very low percentage, but still.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be bad if you caught it, but at the same time,
Yeah. Somebody from Forestville caught it. Somebody we went to school with caught it.
Damn,
Supposed
for
to be
real?
Natalia. She supposed to be posting something. Posting a video about it soon.
Natalia with the
She,
kids?
yeah, she work in healthcare. So
Uh,
yeah. So I'm very curious to see what she says about it.
oh damn,
You know.
you might have to block her name out because I just like put her name out there.
Yeah, you the whole joint out there. I'm like,
he
I don't know how to
put descriptions out there with the kids.
Right.
Y'all broke
Yeah,
it down.
I try to say the first name and like, all right, you know who that is.
Bro, you shouldn't even say that. We got cut
All
all
right.
that out.
I'll have to figure out how to do that on the video because
So when y'all listen to this, you won't hear who has it.
George, you might have to do that. George, I don't know how to do it on the video, bro. I got you for the audio, bro. But yeah, she's gonna be posting a video soon talking about it, and she said like something like her place that she works didn't allow them to wear a mask up until like last week. So
Allowed him to wear a mask or whatever. That's a
Yeah.
lawsuit. I hope she make it.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
She can get some money off that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I know a lot of celebrities are testing positive for it. I heard like Slim Thug was talking about it. Scarface was talking about it. They got it. Yeah, it's been real interesting. I would like to know like what's the testing process? Like my insurance sent me a paper. It was like, yo, anything regarding testing,
Oh, I know what it is.
all covered. What is it?
It's like a the at least the way they've been doing it. The main way is like behind your head or whatever. You have like your nasal passage that goes like this, and your throat also kind of connects to that same thing. There's a spot like you can't get to for your throat that's like right where those two connect, right above it, that they have to touch with a cotton swab. So they got to go through your nose, past like where you ever been, and like basically right all the way back there. So they go really quick. They kind of like go real quick and tap that with the cotton swab. They got to do both sides, and they might have to do it twice. I think they got to do both sides and maybe one in the throat. So it's quick, but it's really uncomfortable. But once they touch that, then they do it. I think I don't know if that's the new 15-minute result one that they got coming out now.
Oh, wow.
But from what I know, they got to tap that back there
Yeah,
through your nose.
Same thing with the flu, I think. With the
Is it?
cotton swab. Yeah, I think so. I think they did that to my son with a cotton swab.
Yeah, it
I
seems
think they did that to
uncomfortable.
me actually. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
I heard you got anally probed. Is that true?
That's your job. That's what you do.
I mean, all right. I got to do this for the conspiracy theorists. Yeah, I feel like it's martial law finally coming. I mean, I know we've been saying this for like 20 years, but I mean, no,
The
it
thing
kind of
is,
look martial law esque.
but this the thing though. Martial law was created for events like this. So saying even if it did come, like that's what
warranted?
martial law was. Yeah, I mean, like that's what I mean. I'm not saying events like this, but like not. It hasn't gotten that bad yet. But what I'm saying is, if an event get to the threshold of martial law, I would assume that it would be a very serious event. It's not like motherfuckers just said like. I feel like conspiracy theorists, when they say martial law, it's like one day shit is all gravy, next day some evil dictator president comes into power, and you're like, all right, everybody's gonna be on martial law, like Hitler or something. That's what the conspiracy.
Can y'all describe to me what
They
martial
can't.
law is?
They can't do the martial law. So
Can y'all tell
martial
me what martial law is?
martial law literally means like the laws in the hands of or marshals. It's been given out to like states and locals. Like a cop, it will become a marshal, and he can distribute justice based on whatever the national thing was. So if Trump said nobody's on the streets, a cop can determine whether or not you have a right to be on the streets, and at that moment deliver justice. Even if the president says justice is shoot whoever is on the street, then he's allowed to make that decision. But with Trump being the president, most of his followers are these anti-government people. Actually, that's why they voted for Trump. So it would never be a situation where Trump would implement martial law. Technically, a governor can implement it for his own state, but it would never be a situation where Trump would do it because that's his supporters. And if he do that, then his supporters are done with him. Period.
Y'all think we're going to enter into a full shutdown soon?
I think it would be smart, honestly, if the shit is spreading as rapidly as they saying. I don't know if y'all been looking at the reports, but I've been checking out New York City, and New York City's been kind of crazy. I think they said they had like 100 people or 200 people die in one day. Like it was so bad that they had to put like freezer trucks outside of the hospital to like hold bodies.
Damn.
So, you know, and the reality is, of course, like I think George said that nobody's scared of it. Like black people not scared of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not really scared of it, us younger folks. But the reality is, like I went to go see my uncle yesterday, and this nigga talked to me through the screen door. Like he wasn't trying to die. So maybe we just don't take this shit serious.
No, I'm saying we're not scared in the side of like black people are already used to shit always going on. Yeah, like shit always going on. So we're just sitting back like, I mean, whatever happens, we got to deal with it however the fuck it's going to go. So I'm not about to worry.
I agree with that. Like black people just like when shit like this happens, black people just like adopt it as a part of life. Like, this is just another part of life we're going to have to work around now. That's how I really look at it.
Do you got your free papers? I got my free papers in my glove compartment.
I got my free papers.
Yeah, I got my free. My job was like, here, take this, put this in your truck, take this and put this in your car. Use a free man now. I said, yes.
Y'all really have like it's like documents.
Yeah, I got a paper.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone real quick.
It's a Pepco document. If I get pulled over, I can show them essential worker.
Mine is the letter from the commander.
I work at a dispensary and like I don't do none of that. Like I just go to work and sell weed.
They gonna get your paper soon. They gonna get your paper. They gonna get your paper soon. If they make it so like nobody can leave, they gonna get you a paper. Just in case you get pulled over.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but ours is like a letter from the like commander or whatever, the sign about like the general and shit. So you get you stop playing.
Your whole life story.
Yeah, like shit.
George was a good kid.
Right.
I mean, on a lighter note, I want to talk about. They said that dating apps have seen like a 20% increase over this shutdown. Do y'all think it's wise to be using dating apps right now? Because I feel like the want to go see the person is gonna increase if you really like talking to somebody every day for 2-3 weeks. You gonna die like one go see them for real. I think.
It's kind of like Love Is Blind on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have no choice but to sit in the house and talk to people online or whatever. So, and I mean, anything online is going up. Like, streaming's going up, whatever services are going up. So, I wouldn't say it's wise or not wise. If they're not meeting up with the people, then it's whatever.
Like yesterday, I seen a movie preview on TV or whatever. It said coming to theaters like April the 10th. Also coming to on demand. Like on the same
Yeah,
day.
they
like,
changed that shit.
That's crazy. I'm like, movies coming straight to people's houses now. Like, this is weird.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting time. But let's switch over to Doc. Doc, we all know you're a holistic, teacher. You've been living holistic for years. I've been one of your customers and patients. Talk to us about how to keep our immune system strong, and even if you could, talk to what you can do if you do contract the virus or you think you have it.
Okay, so one of the first things people need to keep in the forefront is the idea that being in the house doesn't necessarily mean being sedentary. Sitting still, not sweating, You know what I'm saying? Not raising your body temperature, that type of thing. These things count so much more now. Um, Trying to get rid of being sick, or trying to keep yourself from being sick. Uh, as far as things to eat and drink, um, pineapples and other citrus types of fruits definitely. Um, Clear out mucus and are antiviral, antibacterial, all type of things. Apple cider vinegar is another one where, especially for people who feel like that they have it. Like how George was saying about the test, they test your sinuses. They test your sinus cavity when you like gargle with apple cider vinegar. You kind of clear that whole system out in a way. So gargle and take a shot of it. You'll be able to. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say a cure, but you can help clean your system out and keep things moving. Definitely water. Definitely water. Keep yourself hydrated.
Good water, alkaline water.
Try to. I don't want to say just alkaline water because people would be like, okay, I can't drink alkaline water. I want to drink water. Like, nah, like drink water. Spring water, it's fine. Purified water is fine. Even what is it? The sparkling water, which I started drinking recently. It's fine. All of it's good. Just make sure that you stay hydrated. Your body stays hydrated. Everything, because the reason why they check your sinus is because it'll stick there. The mucus will stick in that one location. The virus will stick in that one location and just kind of spread from there. And as you breathe, it just goes to your lungs, to your bloodstream. So you definitely want to stay hydrated. There's a big push now for something called elderberry. A lot more people are talking about elderberry syrup and that type of thing.
Seeing that.
You can buy the syrup pre-made, or you can buy the actual elderberries and make your own syrup. It's actually cheaper to make your own, of course. And it's not difficult at all. You're really doing is boiling it and blending it, then straining it. It's not that difficult. Oil pulling, if anybody knows what that is, is where you use a type of oil, whether it be coconut oil or sesame seed oil is another one.
What do you do?
You gargle it. You use it. You use it as like mouthwash in a way. Cleans out your mouth, cleans off your teeth, and helps to drain your sinuses in a way. And it strengthens up the system by adding essential fatty acids. There's a lot of things that people could do, man. It's not. The more I research it, the less scared of it I am. At first, with just like the media sensationalizing it, people think about it in a certain way, but it's not. Even if you look at the numbers of the people who have it or people who die from it, like it's literally less than 1% of the population. Like,
yeah,
it's only just being put on TV, so everybody's scared of it. Like, more people die from heart disease. Shit that we've been dealing with for 20, 30, 40, however many years now. More people die from that. More people die from cigarettes and tobacco shit. Like, it's not as, to me, it's not as serious. Nowhere near as serious. Even though the ability to contract it and move it around may seem daunting. Everybody want to put on Lysol. Let me talk about that for a second, like just real quick. Like I have to touch on this for people. Lysoling everything and consistently using hand sanitizer is actually counterproductive in the long run. So Lysol in particular, and other cleansers like it, actually retard the system from being able to react, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to you want your system to be able to react to incoming threats and know what to do, and give you a symptom. A lot of cleansers, a lot of chemical cleansers, they retard the system. They retard your nasal passages. They retard the biomes on your hands. And what people will do is they'll use hand sanitizer, but then not put nothing on their hands, like an oil or like, I don't use lotion, but like shea butter or something. You know, they don't do that. They don't replace the fats. They don't replace the biomes on their hands. So they're really weakening their system in the long run. You know, in the short run, everybody want to wipe down everything before they touch it and all that. Like, it's one thing to sanitize everything, then it's one thing to protect yourself. And use the chemical based things may sanitize it, but it's weakening your system in the long run. So like,
what would you suggest for people who have to go out, people who are essential workers?
So, carry around coconut oil. Definitely. If I could just name one thing, carry around coconut oil. It's an antibacterial. It contains antioxidants. It contains a bunch of things that will block out the things that you're trying to block out, while simultaneously putting a barrier around your skin. So when you go to touch something, it's not like your bare skin is touching things. Same with shea butter. Carry around that, and instead of constantly putting on hand sanitizer every time you saw something, put on that. Yeah, if I could name one thing, it would definitely be that. And like water.
I got a question for you, bro. So yesterday I was watching. I was on Facebook. They had something. It was like a mixture. It was like alcohol.
Everclear. And
no, it was just alcohol, aloe vera, and essential oils.
Oh yeah.
So would that work? Is that something that like will and moisturize at the same time?
Right. So that's a good one. I'm glad he mentioned that. Aloe vera is another one. Is another supplement.
Yeah, definitely works.
That definitely works. And the essential oil concept, that definitely works. If anybody has diffusers, keep like peppermint oil around. Keep eucalyptus around, keep clove oil around, and use diffusers. Or if you don't have a diffuser, just boil some water and then drop a few drops in it and just let it, clean your house and clean your nasal passages, that type of thing.
So that's good for the air, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in next.
Definitely, it definitely cleans your air out, and again, it strengthens your system. These things strengthen your system versus rubbing alcohol. Like rubbing alcohol strips the system. And you don't want to continue to do that over the course of time.
That's a harsh chemical. People don't realize.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, but did y'all see that Tito's is making their own hand sanitizer because people was using Tito's as hand sanitizer? Now they making their own joint. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of distilleries are making their own.
So do y'all feel like these things are a money grab, or you feel like they really trying to help people?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's nothing wrong with it being both. But
yeah, there's nothing wrong with with capitalizing on the situation. It's just. Just make sure that it's effective. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
make sure that it works.
Like, so for example, something that's not effective, did they say the masks were effective, or are they not?
The right kind of mask.
Yeah, okay. And it's more so it's more so for the people who already have it too, but still.
I seen a girl on Instagram selling masks, but they had like characters on it.
Yeah, I mean it's some little cotton ones or something. They like stitched up. I mean that don't really stop nothing unless you got some lining in there.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I was driving the other day and I seen a lady next to me with a mask on her chin smoking a jack, and I was like,
yeah, I saw that too. I've seen that a couple times. Like, come on, lady.
What are you
like?
Your chin?
Right.
What's happening here? I wanted to see what y'all thought about this. I saw this in the shade room earlier. Certain states are considering abortion clinics non-essential. What do y'all think about that?
Certain states are weird.
I feel like every medical field should be essential. Like everything medical. Because, like I said, once again, I work at a dispensary and we're considered essential. So, if you consider us essential, you gotta kind of consider like any serious medical establishment is serious.
I think that's very serious.
It's no place that only does abortions. There's no like you don't stay open. Oh, we just do abortions. Like it's no sign out here in the fucking building that says abortions. So that kind of makes no sense.
Like it's Jackson and Hewitt.
Yeah.
It was Ohio, Texas, and Mississippi say abortions aren't considered an essential surgery.
They aren't.
Yeah,
Essential
they aren't.
surgery.
I don't know. I kind of.
You can die, but you
I
can
kind
die
of like
from it.
agree with that. Like I don't.
Like,
I don't.
What if you're in that trimester right before it becomes illegal?
I don't see. I don't see it as essential. I'm more ready to give Ty's dispensary as essential before I see abortion.
But what about that dilemma? Like I said, what if you're right before you're about to enter that trimester where it becomes illegal?
I'm not saying that it's not important, but is it essential? No.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's. Come on now. Let's not act like the weed shop go to opening more than the joint is more essential. Let's not act like that. Let's not act like exactly. Let's not act like getting some weed. Like if that thing closed, you think people wouldn't be able to get weed?
We're thinking about the dispensary concept as recreational smokers.
I'm thinking
I think you think about it medically as much as you want to. It's not going to stop nobody from getting no weed.
I'm thinking of like the people who get it for like seizures and stuff like that. They don't know drug dealers like that, bro. Like that's not what they get.
I'll give them that. A lot of people that come into
who take it for real.
They're not from our realm,
right? They're not from our lifestyle
world, yeah.
So I can see that makes sense. Like it's something like a pharmacy at this point. Like that's how I see that.
That's what
put that in that.
Well, the people that get an abortion are from every realm, and before they had places for it, they was getting them abortions by any means too. So they go find the weed just like they go find them abortions. So why don't you go ahead and let the people get them? Texas,
Mississippi. If you do it, so I don't know.
They always trying that shit. It don't matter. They go to another state.
Yeah,
I just don't like how they
can't really travel right now.
I don't like how they try to interfere with people's lives like that, man. Like just go ahead and let people. You know, if people feel like they need it, they feel like they need it. You can't tell nobody what's essential to them. Like,
yeah. That's another reason why martial law ain't about to pop off. You ain't about to tell people what the fuck to do. That was an old school concept.
If they try that shit, people are not going for it. Personally,
what y'all think about the Texas governor saying that old people should volunteer to catch the
boy, your man, wow.
It's
price themselves for our economy.
Your man,
they don't.
Yeah, he's
crazy, man. I think people just panic into the point where they just saying anything at this point.
Did y'all see the video with Trump with the shawty with coughing? Trump was like,
yeah, I saw that joint live when it happened.
Nigga said, I'm gonna go ahead and roll out, cuz you tripping.
You know what's crazy though? It's crazy. I feel like it's so sensationalized and so like crazy sounding because it's like all these older white people are getting in it and you know they're not recovering from it. Like Italy is full of white people. They just you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Italy turned a skating ring into the more.
Look though. Have y'all noticed though? It's been no job-like reports from Africa, bro. Now, I haven't seen none.
I've seen some.
Of course,
they exist, but it ain't.
They're there, but it's nowhere near.
Why is that though?
It's like 2-3 days. It's like 2-3 days.
Hear that though in terms of my comment earlier about quote unquote sanitation and that type of thing. If you think about that part, you would think that it would have ran through a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't. And I remember in the beginning where everybody was thinking that black people just couldn't catch it because of the melanin concept. It's not that black people couldn't catch it. It's just the idea of melanin's gonna keep changing. It's harder to you know, invade a melanin being versus a non-melanated being.
Yeah, and rest in peace to the black people that have caught it, and everybody that has caught it and died. But still, every single one that I hear about is some extra shit with why they passed away. Either they weren't allowed to get to the hospital, they died in quarantine, do some like weird shit. Like it's never some they were at the hospital and got a ventilator and got all this other stuff. Then blah blah blah. It's always some bullshit with their story about why they died. So I'm up like, are y'all letting black people die just so we can think we can get murked from this? Like stop it. Yeah, like some 102-year-old white woman who's survived the Spanish flu just survived this one, but this black person right here couldn't. Stop it.
Last question before I move to this one question from a man's perspective. Vaccine. Anybody getting it?
No. Nah.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not getting this first. I would never get this first round or nothing.
You don't think they would make it mandatory for military people?
I ain't getting that shit.
That's what I thought. I thought they'd make it mandatory for military.
The flu is, but the flu is just years of whatever. You can pass on anything if you have a reason that you passing for.
Religious, I know.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I haven't been vaccinated probably since I've been in the military. I don't go out looking for vaccinations. Even with my son, I was like, I didn't get him vaccinated. But I do the research, and I feel like it's safe, then I will.
Yeah, I'm definitely not being the first string of nothing.
Yeah, I don't even get flu shots, bro. Nah, I don't even get flu shots. Bro.
I mean, but I think like the flu shot. Do you really need that though? Like really?
I had the first one when I got in the military.
Only reason I may get this coronavirus shit is so I can hug my grandma. Like the fuck?
Nah.
Like the fuck?
I don't trust it. I feel like they might try to make it mandatory, but we'll see how that goes.
I don't trust it at all.
Yeah, make that shit mandatory.
I got one question for a man's perspective in since the corona. Would you quarantine with a girl if you only knew her for a few weeks, but you really got like y'all self quarantine together? Yeah. Yeah, what? It's easy.
Depends. I mean,
all right,
yeah.
Make it spicier. Would you? All right. Speaking on the Idris Elba topic, his girl stayed with him while he had the virus, and they didn't know she had it or not yet. Probably did, but they didn't know.
You could assume she did.
Assume she had it, but that's assuming she didn't have it, or assuming you didn't have it and your girl got the coronavirus. Would you stay right there, treat her and help her, or would you like step out and be separated for 14 days?
If it was a new girl, like you just said, then I step out and be separated for 14 days.
But your main girl, you'll be with her.
But if it's my girl right now, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You'll risk your life.
Because it's like at that point you assume you have it too.
100%.
George, would you risk your life?
Yeah, there's no chance I wouldn't have it at that point. This is
Doc,
like
would you
this
risk
main
your life?
shit.
Of course, you already know.
Oh, y'all niggas stand up guys. Y'all niggas stand up guys.
Who wouldn't? Who gonna say they gonna?
A lot of people would. A lot of people like, yo, like especially if you got kids, you like, yo, let me take care of the kids, and you.
I mean, yeah, if you got kids and you trying to keep it away from them, but like George said, if one person in the house got it, it's kind of hard. Everybody don't got it already. Like, yeah,
everybody.
I have one last question. I don't know if anybody knows this. What's the process if you think you got it? Because they said don't go to the hospital. So would you call your doctor and they send people to you, or what's the move?
Well, if you got money, you call your rich doctor. Your rich doctor calls someone who has a test, and they do it. If you don't, good luck, nigga. Just basically, if you want to get this test, walk up in a hospital, cough hard as fuck. Be like, look, I'm coughing on everybody if y'all don't give a nigga that test.
I heard you're not supposed
Period.
to.
Whatever, bro. Be like, yo, I'm coughing on everybody in here. Y'all don't give me this damn test.
Nigga said you're going to jail.
Hey, and I'm gonna cough on a cop.
You're going to jail for
If you certain that you got that shit and ain't nobody listening to your ass, cough on everybody.
I feel like I read this. I feel like okay, if you develop symptoms, like you just supposed to self quarantine, but if it start getting worse, then like the time allotments that they laid out, then
you basically have to tell them that you had interaction with someone that might have had it.
Yeah. I got a questionnaire before I have to go in any building or any house. I gotta have to fill out this questionnaire saying they don't got it or they ain't got no symptoms. That shit's wild.
But that's the thing though. They saying that even if you don't have symptoms, you can still have the shit.
Yes, but Slim Thug said he said he had no symptoms and he just like only went to the grocery store, had his mask up, he was hand sanitized up.
Because to some people it just don't affect like that. Like some people it just hit you and you might like sneeze for a couple of days. You're like, man, what the fuck is up with these sneezes I got?
Like,
next thing you.
Yeah, like the basketball player that got it. Like one of them had symptoms. One of them was like, yo, I didn't have no symptoms. Like I'm just walking around dapping people up, had no clue. So, I guess it's better. Like even with yesterday, like I said, my uncle was through the screen door. Like even that is like better safe than sorry type shit.
Yeah, because if you give it to somebody else, they might not react the same way that you did.
Right. I could have had this shit the whole time.
Yep.
Right.
And they're working on a test for that too to see who's just had it, and they called it self-resolved and didn't know. So they're trying to see who has like the immunity to it already or might still be carrying it.
Are y'all still linking up with people, or y'all staying in the house?
In the house. Except when I go to the grocery store.
I mean, yeah, that's what they say. I work. So.
How the grocery stores in California?
I don't go to the main one. I go on base.
Oh, man, you cheating.
And they open it up just for us.
Our shit trash out here, bro.
I was gonna say they hoard all the supplies for y'all people.
Yeah, like
but no, the people with IDs try to come, but they don't let them in until after all the military people went, and it ain't shit left once once that happened.
Slim pickings.
Like shit.
I got toilet paper though.
Really?
I got hella toilet paper.
Stock up, bro. You might want to eBay some of that shit, bro. A little side hustle.
I had to get some from the gas station the other day. Shit.
They got that 2-ply.
Man, that shit was 2 days of it. That shit dissolved when
Like
it did
shit.
it.
Damn, that's all I got, man. I think this is a very important episode. I'm glad we got together and do this. I hope everybody's safe. Everybody who has it, I hope you have a speedy recovery. Everybody who's passed away, rest in peace. And we see you guys next week, and hopefully we're the whole country, the whole world is in a better place. This is something that the whole world is suffering to, and it also, I think, increases a sense of camaraderie. And it don't matter if you're rich, poor, whatever class, you black or white, we all kind of suffering with this one thing together. I have noticed that people have been much nicer. So that's all I got. I'm signing out. My name is Who Is the Right, fellas.
Master OG Ty again. Y'all know. Oh yeah, listen to Half Woke. It's on iTunes. I think I said that.
Indeed.
Indeed. It's on Apple Music. We need that love from everybody. So yeah, do that. Doc.
It's Doc D Ross on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. What I forgot to mention earlier is I'm writing a short, I guess you can call it ebook, anti-coronavirus ebook that should be out in the next week or so. That's kind of explaining some of the processes you could do to strengthen yourself and protect yourself. And if you do have it, things that you can do. So be on the lookout for that.
Can you plug your website again, please, Doc?
DocShepherd.net. It'll be available for download there. Like I said, in the next week or two. I'm having it to be out in the next week. But I also have pretty much every essential oil that I mentioned today. I have available at different sizes, and I also have coconut oil and black soaps, different sizes, that type of thing. So go check me out.
Last but not least, Joker.
All right, y'all. Joker the 8th on all platforms. See y'all next time. Stay safe.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.